Something came into my room. Hey everyone, this might be really long-winded, but I will try my best to keep it as brief as possible and as brief as I can, and do my best to explain something quite difficult to describe. I am just looking to see if anyone has had a similar experience or has heard of something like this before, or might know the direction. I can start looking in order to provide some clarity on what happened to me in my room 2 years ago, or what I think happened to me. I'm writing these lines in July of the year 2022. First, some background information. I am in my mid-30s and I live alone in my house. This experience takes place 2 years ago inside my bedroom, and it lasted about 30 seconds, I believe. My bedroom is maybe around 15 feet wide, 15 feet long, which is roughly 4.57 square meters. I must clarify that I was not under the influence of any drugs or alcohol, and I was not tired or exhausted or anything like that, even though it takes place in my room and it happened early evening, probably around 5 p.m. So I walked into my room and I walked to my alarm clock in the corner of my room in order to set it for an early morning I had the next day. My house is really quiet and I live in a quiet neighborhood. I reach down to set my alarm, and then this is when shit gets weird. Every cell in my body was telling me that something is strange. There was absolutely no sound. You know, I don't mean it was quiet. I mean there was this void of sound I had never heard, or I guess not heard, in my entire life, and I immediately knew something was wrong. Something was not normal. I was very aware something was happening, but I had no clue. This lasted maybe 3 to 5 seconds. I turned around, and in the top corner of the room, near my door, was this thing. I'll do my best to describe it. It was maybe 2 to 2.5 feet wide, round, and it was totally see-through. It looked like smoke or visible wind rushing from the outside edges towards the center. The center was clear and I could see the wall behind. Think about the Eye of Sauron from Lord of the Rings, how the fire kind of moved towards the eye slit in the middle. The smoke wind was moving towards the center. The center was also round and it was moving very fast, like so fast that you would expect a super loud windy sound, but it was completely silent. I stared at it for a second, and in my mind I thought, I should be freaking out right now. But I was almost in a state of sedation as far as fight or flight bodily response goes. Then it spoke to me. It didn't do it out loud, but into my mind. It was extremely invasive. It seems like telekinesis, for a lack of a better term. Before I get to do what it said, the best way I've described it to people is to imagine this. You're about to go to an interview for a new job. You visualize sitting across from your potential employer and imagine them asking you questions and how you might answer them. Whatever the interviewer is asking, comes from your mind. This was so different. It did not come from me. I fell at the mercy of whatever it was. Anyway, it wasn't a bad thing like the Eye of Sauron, but it was an ultra-invasive feeling. It then says to me,
"Can you see me?"
And I responded somehow in my mind, yes. Yes? Then it floated to the center corner of my room. It stopped. And then it asked me again,
"Can you see me here?"
and I naturally responded, yes? Same way, in my mind somehow. Then, I don't know how to convey that, I don't know how to convey that I know this, but somehow it moved into my head. I was acutely aware of a presence inside my mind. All the while, I'm still chilling, like a heart rate of 60 probably. Very strange. It's in my mind and it asks again,
"Can you see me here? Can you see me here?"
To that, I respond the same way in my mind. No. Because I couldn't see it anymore. And literally, the moment I said no, the room and the atmosphere snapped back to reality, and I was 100% aware this thing was gone, and my heart rate and breathing went through the roof. I was like, oh my god, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? My response later led me to believe that it had some sort of sedation effect on me while I was in its presence. But I had the presence of mind during the experience to understand that I should be freaking out. I have never had a paranormal experience before or after this, but come to think of it, it's strange now. I told a few of my closest friends about it, and my girlfriend at the time, and I was met with some strange, completely understandable responses like, maybe I'm lying, maybe I'm crazy, or maybe I made it up. Maybe I have a mental disease or something, and this is how it is manifesting. To be honest with you, I think all of these possible answers are extremely plausible at this point. I say that because, as it stands now, 2 years later, I have no recollection of the memory. I can only remember the story that I tell people of what happened. So, I do question my own sanity, so as to not discount any possibility, but I think it did happen. I am going to see a hypnotist to see if I can remember anything, or maybe he can pull something out of my mind where I am some sort of a liar and made it all up. I don't know. He said I could remember it under hypnosis, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it really happened. It doesn't. So, the reason I'm writing this, thank you so much if you made it this far, is not to learn more about the dangers of hypnotic regression therapy, or what potential mental issue this could mean I have. Not really. I would like to know if anyone has experienced or known someone who has experienced or just heard of the thing I describe above, or if you might know some interesting literature that I could read, which might shine a bit of light as to what potentially happened in my room. It is not a distressing part of my life by any manner of means. I just want to learn more about it, as it's an unusual experience. Not that it matters at all, but I will say that I don't take medications. I don't have a family history of mental disorders. I am a really healthy guy with a job that requires me to be very skilled problem solver. Thanks for reading, and if you have any questions, let me know and I'll do my best to answer them. I am a long-time lurker of Reddit, not this particular sub. I just waste my time in my day on the front page, and I'm a first-time poster. Throwaway account for obvious reasons. So, to summarize this whole damn thing, some strange thing, an entity, came into my room and it was asking me questions in my head. It moved around and then moved into me and left. It lasted approximately 30 seconds.